What up, you hammer niggas? It's your boy Yanko Zaza here today with my WrestleMania recap for PostGame narratives. I'm just gonna get right into it. WrestleMania 40. It's in the books. I can honestly tell you that's one of the best WrestleManias I've ever watched in a long time being a wrestling fan. And I can tell you the feeling from a lot of people is that it was great. I saw a lot of new wrestling fans out there. You were those the Drewskis, those the Two Chains. It was everyone that Vanessa Hudgens. Everyone was there. Like I'm like, yo, this is what it needs to be. Wrestling's back. It's cool to be a wrestling fan again. Yo, people were talking about this shit all fucking weekend. People were looking into this. Whether you started off with the NXT, they had NXT in the beginning of the day. Then you got to WrestleMania. You got to see everyone. I saw everyone's faces. You had Meek Mill. He did the track. You had Wayne there. Everyone is invested. And I'm trying to tell you, like I've been saying from day one, it's okay to be a wrestling fan right now. Listen, this was the first WrestleMania without any Vince McMahon influence. This was Triple H's baby. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, he knocked it out the park. And I love this for him because even at the Hall of Fame ceremony, Paul Heyman gave him his flowers. And sometimes, like I always say, give them their flowers while they're alive. And Triple H, you deserve every fucking thing that you've got for you. I salute to you. You've brought Shawn Michaels. He's taken over NXT. You've given everyone a chance to shine. This is why there's so many young talent rising up right now because they believe that Triple H is going to put them in the best positions to win. Sometimes it's not always about just hitting everything. It's about like, yo, sometimes take the slow burn, take a step back. Triple H will be like, hey, I know you want this right now, but is this best for you? Or let's take a step back. Let's do this. Oh, okay, cool. That's how you win. Sometimes the quick reaction is not the best reaction. I was saying this all weekend. The slow build is the best build because sometimes that's how you build up to the next story. Because after WrestleMania 40, there's so many stories going on. Too many stories, and the thing is, I love the people that are going with it. So I'm gonna get into day one. Day one, I know Philly fans. I'm sorry. I know it was cold out there. I know y'all were cold out there. Y'all tried y'all best. Y'all tried to get into the matches, but that win was bad. That win was bad over here in New Jersey. I know that win was bad over there in Philly. So they started off probably the best match in the night. Rhea versus Becky. Listen, you got to give these women their credit. Becky had a strep throat, and the thing is, we didn't even know going into that match. Rhea had an anxiety attack. So these two women are not in the best shape mentally and physically, and he still went out there and gave you one of the best matches I've seen. And can we all just give Rhea Ripley her credit? She has carried the women's division to another level that we don't get enough credit to her for. Becky, I love Becky. I wasn't the most into her. I didn't really care for it. They promoted the book a little too much for me. But what she did out there was phenomenal. Women's wrestling is at another level in WWE. And I love that Rhea had the person who sang her theme song. I think that's what kind of calmed her down. It brought her down like, hey, we're all out here for you. Go out there and perform. Don't think too much about this. Sometimes you overthink it because now it's like, I got to open the show. And I always say, opening the show sets the tone for the show. So she went out there, her and Rhea and Becky killed it. Killed it. Gotta give the women their credit. Gotta give the women their fucking credit. And that's what it should be. Listen, this could have been so much better. The Uso brothers fight wasn't the best. The thing about them is I don't want Jay to get to the point where he's just an entrance and he's just the Uso and he's putting his hands up and down. Then when the match starts, he has nothing to offer. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You okay, cool, but this doesn't get this. This is cool, but you need to take that next level. You need to take that next step. Because what happens if you're in that match with Gunther? You got to raise your game up. It can't be super kicks all the fucking time. Because listen, if you make fun of all the other indie wrestlers for doing this shit, you gotta make fun of you too for it. You and your brother have to raise your game up. That was not the best match. I think that's the low light of the night. And the worst thing about it is night one wasn't bad. It was just cold, and there weren't that match just drug it down because we got three fine black women in the fucking almost main event. Jade, Bianca, Naomi. Oh, Dr. Umar would be fucking proud. Listen, they came out there and they represented Jade Cargill. Listen, they presented her as nothing but a star. AEW, take notes. This is how you present someone who should be a star. You don't have them meddle around just with a random belt. You put them in main feuds. Look at her. She's with Bianca. She's with Naomi. And the thing is, that's gonna bring her up. Now she's fighting with Asuka. She's fighting with Kyrie Sane. Yo, sky's the limit for her. That's what you do with a star. You present her. Her presentation, the entrance, everything about them was fire. This is how you do women's wrestling. Listen, I understand wrestling fans are weird. I've been saying this shit for years. They don't like women's wrestling because they think it's lame. But if you present it really right, the way they did those three girls, you get new fucking fans. And representation matters because now you got little girl, black girls watching out there like that could be me. That could be me. I could be out there right now. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And ah, I didn't think he was gonna do it. The Rocky story, Sami Zayn, gotta give your boy his credit. He beat Gunther. He ended the Ring General reign. And listen, I'm not gonna say anything about his wife because we're gonna keep it nice over here. But I'm happy that he won. I think he can bring it to another level because he's one of those wrestlers who's always invested in what he does. And that's the beautiful part about Sami Zayn. Now he has an intercontinental belt. Let's see where he goes from here. He definitely got a feud with Chad Gable because Chad Gable wants that intercontinental belt. They teased it tonight. Yo, I don't want that. I want the belt. Now they face. Now they face next week in Sami Zayn's whole town. I'm calling the heel turn. You're putting it right here. That's my MVP pick. Chad Gable turning heel on to Sami Zayn. And of course, you had to end the night with the main event tag match. Whew. Listen, what The Rock has done since he's come back, I think we're not giving him enough credit for it because he's become so invested that you can tell he's taking it to another level. That's what you want from your guy. If you're going to come back, you're going to be all about this. You're not going to half ass it. That's the problem with a lot of people. A lot of people half-ass it, and then you can tell they're not invested. And then you get bullshit. Rock has been invested every week because you know why? His entrances have gotten different each and every week. There's something always added to it. So that's why I know you're detail-oriented. You're looking at everything. Okay, what can we add to this? Okay, it got lightning. Okay, let's add this. Let's add the final boss because the final boss wasn't there when that first entrance first started. He added that. Oh, so listen, this is a run that I haven't seen in a long time. This man is 52, and he went out there and he performed. And let's not take away from the other people in this match. Roman fucking Reigns, the man who has carried the company for the last 4 years in the pandemic, raised it. They're selling out shows because of him. They're doing ratings because of this man. The company literally was like, yo, Roman, take us to another level. And you know what he did? He took you to another level. Because a lot of people don't want to give him his credit, but The Rock is back because of Roman. It's not because of anyone else. All this stuff that we're seeing in WWE that we're all hyped about, this does not happen without Roman. And like the crowd chanted tonight, thank you, Roman. because Roman has made so many stars in this bloodline story. Cody's not Cody without Roman. And moving on to day two. Day two was phenomenal. Listen, day one was great. But day two had everything that it fucking needed to happen. We started off hot. Drew McIntyre, player hater of the fucking year. Drew McIntyre has been doing everything. I think this is Drew McIntyre's best run of his year versus the Peacock, the Mardi Gras wearing Seth Rollins. And don't get me wrong, Seth Rollins is a great wrestler. What he did these last 2 nights has been great. Because on a bad knee, a bad back, that motherfucker did his fucking thing. And you got to give Seth Rollins credit. I know he's about to take some time off. You fucking deserve it. Heal up, bro. Like, yo, it's okay. I get it. Sometimes wrestlers and athletes get in their head. They need to be out there sometimes. Sometimes just take a step back. Your body's done, bro. Give Drew that belt. Drew deserved it way more than a lot of people understand. Drew has been killing the game. And when Drew won in front of people, because that man didn't win in front of anyone in 2020. It's a pandemic. You could tell. Seth Rollins said, yo, you motherfucking deserve it. But the story of day two is obsession. Because Drew was too obsessed with CM Punk. And he didn't let it go. You should have just walked to the back. You won. What did he do? He turned to Punk because he couldn't let it go. He couldn't let it go. And it cost him. CM Punk hit him. Swept his legs. Hit him with the arm brace. Damian Priest came out and cashed it in and won. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. One thing, obsession will kill you. It will kill you because it's the wrong obsession. You should just walk to the back. CM Punk ain't worth it. But you let him feed into your ego and your hate. And guess what? Now you have a reign of 5 minutes, 36 seconds. Ain't nothing to say else about that. God damn. Listen, once again, we got to give the women their credit because Bayley and Io put on a match that to me is up there. Like when I think about women's wrestling, I will think about Io Sky versus Bayley because Io dominated that match to another level that I don't think we give a lot of people credit for it because I know she's small, but she was reversing, she was tactical, she was breaking everything Bayley threw at her down. Bayley would throw something at her, Io would reverse it. Io was the better wrestler, and that's the thing we need to admit. Bayley was great. She was outclassed by Io. No ifs, ands, or buts. Io is one of the best technical wrestlers I've seen in that ring. Male or female, she was great. And I want to see her get the belt again. There's nothing stopping her back besides mic skills, but you can always work on that. You can get her a valet, you can do all that. But she was fucking phenomenal. And I love the fact that the crowd knew and they gave her fucking flowers. But Bayley deserved to win this. She won the Royal Rumble. Bayley has always been the bridesmaid, never the bride. Now she's the bride. Triple B, enjoy your title win. And you know we had to end the night. Cody versus Roman. Listen, I've never seen two wrestlers have styles that just fit each other. Because Cody and Roman, even before all the stuff that I'm about to talk about happened, they were having a match. Roman used the move Crossroads and said this move fucking sucks. I was like, Roman, come on, bro. That's heel shit. And then Cody, of course, used a spear. But when Jimmy came out, I knew when Jimmy came out, I was like, okay, Jay's going to take him out. But then Solo came out. I was like, okay, what they going to do? Came out last year, he did Spike. I'm like, yo, is that going to be it? Nah. They do the spear, throat, punt, and then Cena comes out. I'm like, oh, yo, this might be the greatest WrestleMania finish of all fucking time. Because they didn't promote him. I know people saw in the trucks that Cena was there, but we weren't talking about that. Cena came out, he did his thing. Yo, AA onto Solo through the announce table. But then, if you smell hits, and I'm like, oh, Rock and Cena haven't had a moment together in 12 years. Rock laid him out. I'm thinking, oh shit, it's over. He's about to hit Cody with the belt. And of course, the lights go off and you hear the gong. Undertaker. Oh, yo, I don't think y'all realize as a wrestling fan, I was so fucking happy. Me and my co-producer were watching. Shock. And when he showed up and he was behind the Rock. Oh, you got something. Get into that. Yeah, get into that. So he choke slams. And then you hear Primo Echo Delta Shield. But Roman, once again, like I said, the theme of day 2 was obsession. Roman took out Seth Rollins. But here's a part that killed him at the end of the match. Cody's getting up. He has a steel chair in his hand. Roman has a steel chair in his hand. Cody's getting up. Seth Rollins getting up. Because he was so obsessed, because Seth Rollins hit him with that belt 12 years ago. He couldn't let it go. Who did he hit first? Seth. And it cost him the match. Obsession kills, ladies and gentlemen. Obsession kills. And Cody finished the fucking story. And tonight was a start of a new era, the Triple H era. He came out there, he did his thing, and he talked. And then he brought out Cody Rhodes. And he had a promo for Cody Rhodes showing that, yo, everything you did when you left, it brought you back here. This is your time. You deserve every fucking thing that you got. I was like, that's beautiful. The company is so invested in you right now. Cody can only go up. I don't really see him failing. I'm happy for that motherfucker. I'm really happy for that motherfucker. That motherfucker deserves it. I don't think we give him enough credit. I know people are like, oh, they want Roman to win, but let's give Roman his break. Let's go, Roman. Go take your time. They chanted, thank you, Roman. Like, that's what we talking about. Like, give him his flowers. He did so much for the business. Let Cody carry it now. But then this didn't end like that. Final boss came out. And he was like, yo, your story of Roman's finished, but not ours. So we're gonna see where this goes. And it's beautiful. This is professional wrestling. And I love that they're saying it now. They're not talking sports entertainment. Professional wrestling is back. That's how you start a fucking story. And then, once again, obsession. Drew McIntyre's in the main event. He can't let shit go. But I love it. He's about to win. Who comes out and pulls on his leg? Punk. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, when we get this Punk versus McIntyre feud, niggas is going to be eating. Because it's going to raise the business up. Because this is how two people who don't like each other feud. But Jey Uso won. He's going to face Damian Priest. And guess what? If Obsession's there, you're going to lose too. But anyway, thank you for joining us. PGN, we out.